Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. This is Marco, mpmod.com, sending much blessing to all of you. So first of all, I have a big announcement. My book, Shredding in a Basement, is finally released. So for those of you who want to lose fat and build muscle, but they think they can't because they don't have enough time, enough money, or enough space, maybe you should get a copy of my book, and I think it will change your mind. The book is available in electronic Kindle format and paperback format. Just go to my website to click on the products tab and see the instructions. So get a copy of my book, read it, and tell me what you think about it. Moving on, the topic of today: what is your love language and why does this topic even matter, right? So obviously the purpose of my work and of my website is to help you becoming your greatest version, if that's what you want, right? And I always say that your shape is where you have to start. But there's much more than that. And this particular topic was actually the first step along my journey. And it was a pretty big one because it helped me realize that what I was thinking of being true was actually only my perspective, right? So there's a book titled The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, which obviously I recommend you to read. And in this video of today, I'm going to share with you the main principles, the way I see it. Okay? Love languages. So what is a love language? A love language is the way that you receive love, the filter, right? For example, okay? Let's say that your love language is words of affirmation, right? When somebody tells something pleasant to you, for example, good job, you're a great person, I appreciate you, I care about you, you're important, I love you, right? If your love language is words of affirmation, the message gets through, right? And you feel it in your heart. Instead, when they do something, when they speak some other language, you don't really feel it. Well, you rationally understand that they're doing it for a particular reason, but you don't really feel it. For example, okay, when you were a kid, or maybe still now, do you remember when your grandmother used to cook that particular cake for you, or that particular dish, okay? And maybe you didn't even like it. But that was her way of showing you her love, making the efforts to cook that particular cake and then giving it to you. And then you say, okay, thank you, Grandma, I like this cake, but you didn't really mean it, right? That's because maybe you didn't like the cake, or maybe it was just because you were speaking a different love language, okay? So what's the second principle to this theory, right? So the way that you receive love, the love language that you speak, that you understand, right, is the same love language that you use to give love and appreciation to other people, right? And this is true not only for romantic love, but also for friendship and co-workers and family and whatever happens to be, right? So let's say that you have a girlfriend and you guys love each other so much. It's the beginning of the relationship, and your love language is words of affirmation, and her love language is another one. For example, acts of service. What does acts of service mean? Acts of service mean doing something meaningful for you. For example, cooking you a sandwich, or running some errand, or whatever happens to be. Okay, that's her way to show you that she loves you. What's your way? Words of affirmations. So you tell her, oh, I love you, I care about you, you're important to me, right? And if you look at her perspective, in her perspective, right, she sees that you tell her, I love you. So at the beginning she thinks, okay, he tells me he loves me, so that must be true. But if you don't follow up speaking her love language, because you're not aware of it, she won't feel it. And guess what happens? Now you know what happened, right? So how do you fix this? Okay? First step, you need to be aware of this mechanism and of your love language. How you do that? There's a website which I'm gonna link below this video on the YouTube comment on my website, and take the test. There's some questions which you are to answer, and you get the result, and you get your love language, and you will see that out of 5 love languages you will have one which is dominant over the others. So 1, 2, blah blah blah. So be aware of your love language and then read the others, okay? And that's the first step. Second step, I want you to imagine that you move to a new country where you don't speak the language and you know nothing about the way they talk, the way they speak. You need to survive there. So what do? You have to learn the language. So that need to survive gives you the motivation to study and speak the language until you become sort of fluent, right? That you can survive. And that's the same thing that you need to do. If you love somebody, if you care about somebody, and if you want to show them your appreciation, now that you are aware of this dynamic, you will study and learn their love language. So what do? The next time that you are with your baby, with your girlfriend, you're going to ask them, I have a question for you. What's your love language? And see what comes up. So there you have it. Have a beautiful week, guys. Stay strong, stay smart, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.